In this session, we will see about the remaining options in the hatch. Now once again, let me go with hatch. And in the last session, we have stopped at associativity. Now next, we will go with create separate hatches. Now before going to this, first let me create here different boundaries which are placed separately. Now these are three boundaries which are placed separately here. Now let me go with hatch. First I am going to select objects and let me select all these objects one by one. Then we'll go with hatch. And right now I didn't select here create separate hatches. Just we'll see the preview and let us accept this by going with enter. Now after creating the hatch, we got the hatch in all the three objects, but if I select the hatch in any one of the objects, that will be selected even in the remaining objects also. The reason is whole together will act as the single hatch. Whether you can select here in the rectangle or in the top circle or in the bottom circle, whole together will act as the single hatch. If I try to delete, it will be deleted completely. So if you don't want to get such problem, then you can go with hatch. Now before creating the hatch, here you can switch on create separate hatches. Then go with select objects. Select these three objects. Now go with enter. See the preview and accept it. Now because I have switched on that create separate hatches, now if I select in each and every boundary, the hatch will act as the separate entity. Now this is separate hatch and this is another one and this is the other. So like this they will be acting as separate hatches when you switch on create separate hatches in the options. Now after this, next we will go with draw order. Now let me cancel this first. Even let me delete all these objects. Now here I am taking one new rectangle. Then let me go with hatch, and here I am reducing the scale factor to 0.3. And by default, if you see here the draw order, it is going with send behind the boundary. Send behind the boundary. Right. Now let me go select objects. Select this object. Go with enter. See the preview and accept it. Now after creating the hatch, now if I try to select the boundary will be highlighting like this. Directly we can select the boundary, because when we are creating the hatch, I have selected the option called send behind the boundary. That means the hatch is going to be sent behind the boundary. Now let me delete this hatch. Once again we'll go with hatch, H enter. Now before going to select objects, first let me change here the draw order. Let me say bring to front. Bring to front. I will go with select objects, select the boundary, then see the preview and accept it. Now try to select the boundary. Now when I am trying to select the boundary here, it is not highlighting the boundary, but instead of boundary it is highlighting the total hatch. The reason is, in this case I have selected bring front to the boundary, so here the hatch has been placed in front of the boundary. So this is called the draw order. So where you want to place the object, in which order you want to place the object, based on that you can choose here the draw order. Then after completing the draw order, we will see the last one here, that is inherit properties. Now before going to inherit properties, first let me create the hatching for different boundaries with different hatch styles. Let me take number of boundaries. Now we will go with hatch. First one I am selecting here. This is the result. Then let me go with again hatch. Let me change here the swatch. I am selecting stars. Again I am going to select objects. See the preview. This is the stars. Let me create one more. I am taking brickstone. This is brickstone. Then we'll take one more, that is grass. We'll take the grass here. So now here on the screen we have 4 different types of hatchings, and I have given different properties for these different hatching styles. Now if I want the 5th one to be hatched with any one of these existing hatch styles, then no need to set once again the pattern to that particular style. Just you can go with hatch, enter, go with inherit properties, then select the style which you want to apply to this new object. Just you can select it. For example, now if I want to apply the stars, I can select the stars directly, and after selecting the stars, now you can select the objects to which you want to attach. Select the object, go with enter and see the preview. Now directly whatever we have selected with the same properties will be applied even for this new boundary. So this is called inherit properties. Now you can go with enter, that will be accepted. Or if I want to apply this brick style and I don't know what the scale factor I have used for this brick, what the angle I have used for this brick style, but still if I want to use the same brickstone with same angle, with same size and everything, even for this new object, we can go with enter, say inherit properties, select the existing one, then select the new object, go with enter and see the preview. Then again you can go with enter to accept it. So this is about inherit properties. Then after completing about the inherit properties, now once again let us go with hatch, and here we can get few more options, but for that we have to click on this arrow. So if you click on this arrow, it is going to give you more options related with the hatch. Now these are the more options which are related with the hatch. Now in this, first we'll see about the islands. And already I told you what is an island. An internal boundary which is placed inside is known as an island. So in this island there are different island detection styles, and you can see here these are the 3 different styles, island detection styles. One is called normal, the other one is outer, and the last one is ignore. And by default the system will be using normal. And now I will tell you what is this normal. Let me take number of boundaries one inside the other. Now I am going with hatch, enter. Let us go with more options. And in the island detection style, by default it is using normal. Let me go with pick points. I am picking inside this rectangle. Go with enter and see the preview. Now if you see here, we got the hatching in the alternate boundaries. The first one is hatched, second one is blank, and again the third one is hatched. Now this is called normal style. Let me go with spacebar, and because we are using here normal, you can see even here itself we have shown the first square is hatched, then the polygon is empty, that is the pentagon is empty, and again the circle is hatched. So this particular style is known as normal style. Now if I change the style to outer, and if I see the preview, we are going to have the hatching only for the outer boundary, and the remaining inner boundaries will be blank. So this is called outer. And even here also you can see only the square is hatched, the polygon and the circle both are blank. And if I go with the last one called ignore, and if I see the preview, it is going to ignore all the inner boundaries. So totally we are going to get the hatching. It won't consider this circle and the rectangle. Without considering those inner islands, directly it is going to hatch the complete object. So these are the 3 different island detection styles. Now once again let me place this as usual in the normal position, that is normal. So these are the island detection styles. Now with this I am closing here the hatch, and we have one more, that is known as gradient. Even this gradient is also a type of hatching, but before going to this gradient, first we'll see solid hatching. And to go with solid hatching, you can go back to the hatch, and in this hatch itself we have solid hatching. But what is solid hatching and how to apply that solid hatching, all these things we'll see in the next session.